Hey guys, it's me, Victoria, and for today's video, I wanted to make a list of 7 or 8 reasons why a woman might reject you when you ask her out and get her number. I have another video on how to ask a woman out and get her number, which I will link below, but I noticed that a lot of guys blame themselves unnecessarily, thinking there's something defective about me, and they really have no idea all the different things that could be going on in a woman's mind that causes them to just want to reject some sort of cold approach from a random stranger on the street. Like, it's not always about who you are. There's many alternative reasons why a woman might not want to, once she even gets your number, let's say, call you back or reject your number altogether. So let's get into those reasons. Alright, so the number one thing I think men really have no idea about women, I mean, thanks to the whole feminist movement, I think they've become somewhat more aware, like when they say, there's this hashtag going around, yes, all women, and it's like, women will say, oh yeah, when I go to the parking lot, I hold a key in my hands, and men will be like, oh, not all women do that, and women are like, hashtag yes, all women, like all women know these things. So my first reason is that she might reject you if you come up to her and ask her on a date, is that she is scared of strangers. I really think that men underestimate how scared of men women really are. Women literally see every man basically as a potential murderer and rapist. And that is how I was. Like, I'm speaking from personal experience. It's like, yeah, they're a nice person, but in the back of your head, you're thinking, can I trust this person? If I met alone with them, would they try to kill me? And another thing is they feel your agenda of wanting sex from them, and that's very uncomfortable because, women have a lot of unresolved feelings and shame about their own sexuality. So the fact that a guy is approaching them to take them on a date with the agenda in the back of their mind for sex, it's very uncomfortable for a woman. So for both of these reasons, she might just not be in the mood and reject you completely, no matter how great you are. No matter if you seem great, she still might not trust enough to want to meet you, because that is taking a risk for a woman. And secondly, she might feel uncomfortable with the feeling inside of her that, someone is approaching her to basically use her for sex, no matter if you want to get to know her as well or you want to have a mutually enjoyable, casual experience for both of you. For both of these reasons, she might just not want to deal with it and reject your attempt to get her number. Number 2 is kind of similar. Like, let's say out of social pressure and awkwardness, she accepts your number, and then you're wondering, why doesn't she call me? Like, I'm texting her, I'm asking her out, but she's not responding. Well, I myself have done this multiple times where a guy gives me her number, and then for the reasons I listed in the first reason, I am too scared to take that risk. This was, more in my 20s. Now I'm not as scared. But I was too scared to take the risk to meet up with him in person. It's just, a lot of women just are not brave enough for that. And that might seem foolish to you, but I don't know if you can adequately comprehend the level of subconscious fear of men most women have. So, alright. Number 3 is, another reason she might reject you is your looks, okay? Now, you should not take this personally, because a lot of women are very insecure. A lot of men are insecure, but yes, a lot of women are very insecure, more than you might think. A lot of guys are just like, you're so beautiful, what do you have to be insecure about, let's say. But women are very insecure, and they feel pressure to date someone who looks a certain way in order to impress their friends, so that their friends think, oh, I guess she's, good looking enough herself to get a guy who's good looking. maybe guys understand this from their perspective, like the pressure to date like some, hot blonde person or something, or whatever, hot woman type your type is, to impress your friends. You know what I mean? Rather than someone you necessarily find attractive, it's just more about being socially validated by dating someone societally accepted. And I've heard women say this to my face of, I can't date him, my friends would laugh at me. They're so insecure that they need to date someone that their friends would judge them to be like high value for dating. And I think that's really pathetic and sad, and I really don't think you should take that personally. Like, if you're not, good looking enough to be that eye candy and that trophy boyfriend, should you take that personally? No, not at all. That girl is so shallow and so insecure, and I really don't think that's something you should take personally, because she is going to cause a lot of problems for you just by how insecure she is, and she's not able to stand up for what she wants in a guy. So that one's real. I've been there myself. All right. Number 4 reason she might reject you is you didn't actually ask for her number. As you know, I used to run, or you may or may not know this, but I used to run a rejection training group. A lot of guys were scared of rejection. They came to face their fear of rejection, and I helped them ask girls out. They would talk to a girl. They'd be like, I got into a great conversation with this girl. And I'm like, did you get her number? And they're like, no, I didn't ask. I'm like, like, I really am not getting this. So many guys, they get into this great conversation with a girl, and then the conversation's ending, she's like, I have to go, and they won't ask for her number. It's very confusing. I understand now is that that's, putting themselves on the line. But the girl knows if you're talking to her that you want her number. That is the goal of you talking to her. So it is better always to just ask. Because, if she's going to reject you, she's already rejected you in her mind when you started talking to her, because she knows you're going to ask for her number. So it's just really silly not to ask for her number. And so don't go away thinking, oh, she rejected me, she wasn't interested, she wasn't giving me intensely flirtatious signs. Like, that's crazy. I've made some videos about this. Never look for, intense interest. Just always ask. She can say no. And you can ask in a very respectful way, like, it's totally okay if you say no, but it's always okay to ask. Some feminists might disagree with me, but yeah. Number 5 reason she might reject you is your clothes do not look stylish enough, and she senses either you're too different from her, and you're not going to fit in with her lifestyle, her culture, her friends, or your clothes look, cheap and not stylish, and you're not giving her that kind of provider, protector vibe because your clothes look bad, okay? That's kind of like a harsh truth one. You need to be wearing cool clothes. And of course, same goes for women. Men totally respond to clothes, I think. Yeah. So I think that one's kind of self-explanatory, but it would make a whole world of difference for a guy to get really into clothes. I mean, women are into fashion. They see your outfit in a glance, and they take it all in, and they decide who you are. So if you're into men's style, it's a huge leg up. All right, number 6 reason is that they might reject you is you come across as too suave, and it makes you seem like an amateur. It's better to be genuine and natural. Like, a lot of guys, they study pickup, and pickup tells them to have like their front and have their cool lines and just act really kind of like manly, and it's obvious to a lot of women. And paradoxically, it makes you seem insecure because it makes you seem like you've studied how to pick up women and you needed the help and you're kind of desperate and trying. And sometimes it is much better to just be genuine and natural because being too wooden and suave is kind of like a dead giveaway that you're insecure, weirdly enough. So the best way to ask is just to genuinely ask, in my opinion, and to genuinely talk. And finally, I have two more. Number 7 is you get her number, but you don't actually ask her out. This happened to me a lot of times. A guy would get my number. We'd be texting back and forth, and I'd just be like, when is he going to ask me out? And then I would sometimes just confront him and be like, you never asked me out. And he would be like, oh, well, you didn't, I thought maybe I had to text back and forth with you for a long time before you were comfortable. I'm like, no. All right, stop trying to avoid rejection and just ask the girl out after you get her number. And don't try to just talk back and forth. Like, just almost immediately ask her out, or maybe, 3 or 4 text messages. And number 8 is another harsh truth one, but you might be shorter than her and she feels bigger than you. This is a really big one for girls because they feel that they're insecure about feeling feminine. They feel fat. They've been made to feel they have to be smaller than they are. They have to be feminine. They have to be kind of like, maybe they want to feel that. And if you're too short for her, if she is taller than you, she may be racked with feelings of insecurity about how she's big, she's manly, and she just won't even consider you. So don't take that one personally either. That's just something a lot of girls feel. And if you're shorter, you can either find a girl who's more secure or date someone shorter than you. But just know that a lot of girls are insecure like that. So anyway, guys, I hope you found this helpful, and yeah, let me know if it was helpful. And I have another one coming up about mistakes, things she could reject you for on a date.